What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chrissy Chaos. We are coming to you live from StreamYard. That's where we're coming to you live from StreamYard. I'm in my house. Vito, baby teeth, Khalees is at his job. He's got his eyes are red. I don't know if he's on adrenochrome. I don't know what he's doing, but he looks beat up. But we're not in the same building right now, but we're going to experiment with how it is on opposite sides of New York doing this pod. I got some guys in the house right now doing guy stuff that I can't do. There's a hole in my ceiling that I don't know how to fix.
No.
Yes.
Which ceiling? Which, like, you have, I mean, like, are you talking about like fourth floor attic roof or like a main living area?
In the kitchen.
Oh, no.
Yes. In the kitchen, there is a leak. It's probably very simple to fix, but I don't know how to fix it. I have no idea how to fix it or what to do. So I called over actual men. And actual men are going to come in here and fix my ceiling and then have sex with Jasmine.
But like, I mean, mowing your lawn is one thing, but I don't think there's a world where you would actually be able to fix a leak in a hole in your roof.
Well, like, would you be able to do it, you think?
No, not at all,
idea.
Dude. No, but I mean, we're in the same boat, dude. We're both pathetic. Like, I can't do it. I call people to mount my TV for me. Like, I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know where to begin to mount my TV.
No, I have asked a friend to do it every time. Dude, I got the IKEA PAX thing for our apartment, our new one when we moved in. And like, I didn't even think about, like, IKEA was like, you can hire a TaskRabbit to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to try to put this thing together.
Yeah, I have no idea how to do it. And I'm powering through this podcast for you guys, audio only, get used to it, on almost no food because I can't, my daughter was sick, so I had to take her to the doctor. And then I said, I'm going to come back. I said to Jazz, I said, let's just get food. There's a food place that we like right next to the doctor's office. So we can take our daughter to the doctor and then go get food. She's like, no, we'll cook when I get home. And I'm like, Jazz, but I'm starting the podcast at 10:30. I need to eat. I haven't eaten since 6 o'clock. She's like, don't worry. As soon as we get home, we'll be home quick. I'll make you something. We're not spending money. We get home. The guys are fixing the hole in the ceiling and they have tarps over the stove. So I'm like, what the hell are we supposed to do now? I'm starving. She was like, I guess we'll just order from the place that was right next door to the doctor's office. So now I'm paying extra money for seamless delivery fees and I'm hungry, but I'm doing this for you and I'm doing it audio only. And I've heard your complaints about it. And I got to be honest with you. This isn't about you. It's about me. Okay, so I want to do audio only because I want to do something different. I am doing audio only because the podcast that I really like, I only listen to. I don't watch the video. So like my favorite podcast is Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett because I like the way he talks like this. And he's very smart. He has very good guests. And I know he has video. I'm aware that he has video, but I don't watch it. I listen to it. So I just want to do a podcast the same way that my favorite podcasters do it. And if I want to, I can do it. And if you have a problem with it, you better make sure you have a valid U.S. passport because Donald Trump Jr. liked one of my Instagram posts, and I'll tell him to tell his father that you're an illegal alien.
I mean, I don't get all the negative responses. Like, I'm going to read a few. Jimmy Hill 33 said audio only is crazy. And I want to point out to Jimmy Hill 33 that podcast literally started as just an audio feed that went to your phone or you had to download from iTunes and put on your iPod. Rebecca 0619 said voice only. I clicked off so fast. Chrissy, please be for real.
Clicked off so fast. What's her name?
Rebecca 0619.
Rebecca 0619. She's already done after she's just because it's audio. There's no way this lady has a husband. And if she does, I guarantee you in the next year to two, the husband's going to murder suicide everybody.
So I do want to point out, we recorded the last episode. Like we did it, I think a week and a half ago.
Right.
And this episode we're recording the day before we release it. But 2 weeks ago, we talked about Savannah Guthrie in detail. And then we both said multiple times, I hope that lady doesn't get found before we release.
Well, you know what? I hope she does get found because I just really wanted to prevent her from getting found and ruining my first podcast episode, which I think is fair. She, by the way, that lady, and well, we won't talk about her too much, but I don't think she's ever going to get found, and I do firmly believe she's in Mexico. I actually believe she played for Team Mexico in the World Baseball Classic.
Dude, I was jazzed up with the World Baseball Classic, but I was only rooting for Team Italy.
I know.
Did you see their espresso machine went for auction for 16 grand?
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, if I didn't make a stupid house purchase again, I would try to buy it for you for your freaking birthday. But I made it. But can I just say real quick, because of all the stupid decisions that I've been making, and this is Vito Baby Mouse idea, he came up with a reverse advice hotline, which I think is genius. So I want to call fans and ask you, the fans, for advice, because I consistently make a stupid decision. So now I've noticed how great and smart and hot and my fans are, besides that fucking woman who's talking shit about the audio, whatever her name is, I already forgot it. I'm not calling her. But the reverse advice hotline, write this number down. Write this down right now. 929-266-7934. That's 929-266-7934 for the reverse advice hotline. Leave a voicemail. Tell us what you do, how you can help me, what advice you can help me with, and then leave your number and we will call you on a future Chrissy Chaos episode. Right?
And to kick this off, we got a comment that led to this that I want to read to you from Jumbo Lump 666.
Oh my God.
I mean this with love. You in particular cannot handle owning a husky. Please rehome her and get a dog better suited for first timers.
Yeah, well, I hope a doctor finds a jumbo lump on your next visit, you piece of shit.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that. That was too harsh. I take that back. Sorry, buddy. I don't know what happened. That's the peptides. Sorry. Listen, I understand that you think I don't know how to take care of a Siberian Husky. Well, I do. Okay, I do. I've actually, for the first time now, we got the dog around Thanksgiving. I am finally starting to bond with the dog, and I am starting to release oxytocin when I look at her, and when she looks at me, she's releasing oxytocin, and we are starting to bond together. Like, I've pet her multiple times this week. There were a lot of times I would let her leash go in the woods behind my house. I don't do that anymore. I just hold on to her. Like today, in my backyard, we saw a fox. I saw a legit fox, like I live in Zootopia, in my backyard this morning. And a month ago, I might have let Josephine go and then hoped that the fox ate her. But today, and I have the security camera footage, I ran back into my house with Josephine because I was scared of the fox. And then Jasmine was like, why did you run back in the house? I said, because there's a fox out there. She was like, so? I said, what if it attacks me? And Josephine, she was like, all right, stop being a pussy. And I was like, it's a fox. They eat rabbits. She was like, yeah, our dog is a Siberian Husky. She'll kill the fox. And I was like, oh.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have been afraid of the fox.
Me too.
I'm glad you put those fences up.
Yeah, and then how about this? When Jazz looked even closer at the security footage, she realized it wasn't a fox, it was a squirrel. So
no, you didn't become a fox and a squirrel?
I did. So I just sprinted away thinking.
How small do you think foxes are?
I don't know. I saw a fox. But she says, no, you idiot, that's a squirrel. That was a squirrel that you sprinted away from. And Josephine definitely would have killed that.
But do you think there's anybody you could call for advice on how to deal with your Siberian Husky?
So there's one guy, he's in LA, comedian friend of mine for years. He had a show on CBS. His name's Justin Silver. Okay. If you guys listen to podcasts, I'm sure you know who he is. He's a good friend of mine. He trains dogs for a living. Okay. He's like Cesar Millan, but if Cesar Millan did podcasts and testosterone replacement therapy, and lived in Venice Beach. But this guy, he will tell me what to do with this dog. So I'm going to call him. I'm going to throw it on speaker, and I'm just going to ask him some advice on what to do with the dog. Vito, what questions do you think I should ask Justin?
I think you got to ask him why people would say that you're not equipped to handle a husky.
Okay.
You have to ask him how you can continue to bond with the husky more, and then I need you to ask him if anybody's ever confused a squirrel with a fox before.
Okay.
Princess.
Justin.
What's up, buddy?
Dude, you're live on the Chrissy Chaos podcast, audio only.
Get out of here. All the honey bunnies.
Audio only.
6-year-olds.
Yeah. What are you doing? You're in LA?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I'll never go back to that city ever.
You know, yeah. Well, Justin, for the listeners, of course, that know him, we know Justin Silver. He's a cutie with a booty. For the listeners that don't know him, Justin Silver has left New York because he's a Jew and he does not like Mom Donnie.
That is exactly the reason why I left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing? What are you working out today? Because you got a hot bod.
Thank you. No, today we're off today. Today I'm just going to be walking on the beach while you're in the snow.
Yes.
I'm taking the pooch to the beach, and then I got a bunch of comedy shit we're shooting today, Chris. You know, you're not the only one. You're not the only one working.
Well, you know what the benefit is of living in New York is I've been having some knee issues, and they are actually getting a lot better now because every time I go down into a deep lunge, I kneel onto a prayer rug. So it softens the cushion.
And then you get right in the cab.
And then I get right. Now, Justin, we're calling you. I texted you earlier. There's been some comments from the fans saying that I am not equipped to take care of a Siberian Husky. They don't think I can do it. And I said, you know what? It's a puppy. She's 4 months old. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
I said, I'm going to call Justin Silver and he's going to tell me the do's and don'ts of a Husky and if I can handle it or not, because these fans are starting to piss me off with their fucking comments.
I'll make it very easy for you.
Okay.
I'll be honest, right?
Okay.
I'll let you provide all the funny, silly. And I'll be the factual one. You be the color.
Love it.
Right? I'll be the straight play-by-play guy. You're the color.
Dude, this is amazing. It's like we're in Legion of Skanks.
What? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
If you put the time and effort in and you use just a proper trainer and you spend 10 minutes a day working on your reps and you use the proper tools and proper techniques, everything goes easy. 99% of dog problems are because people just wing it and they think dogs should just figure it out. And when you have a Siberian Husky, which is a drivey dog that is also a working breed and very vocal, all that drive, if it's not channeled properly, is going to drive you crazy. When it's channeled properly, you should be fine. But if you just put a little bit of effort in, and don't just wait, especially in a house with kids and stuff, things you'll be fine. But there's no getting around doing that. Like you have to put the same way you're educating your kids. Now you have a 4-legged kid. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
So
whether you're going to do that or not.
So when you say education, the way I educate my kids, educate the dog, should I show my dog the Hitler speeches in English?
I don't like to do it in English because I feel like what happens is when it's translated, the actual effect and intensity of the guttural German language doesn't really get across like the real essence of the message that we, and I say this as a Jew also, we all need to really understand and learn and appreciate.
That's a good, you know what? This is why they pay you the big bucks. Now, let me ask you this, though. When you say put in the effort, what does that mean? Like walking her?
No. This is what I said. All dogs need a basic minimum vocabulary, right? They all need to know 6 words. Come, sit, stay, heel, down, place.
Come.
Right? Zig Heil's not one of those, Chris.
Okay, but come is.
Come is one of those.
Okay.
Not the other kind.
Oh, okay.
The other kind.
Yes.
Or here. Let's change it to here, just to make it so that the PG listeners, the 17-year-olds who love you also have something to listen to.
Yes.
Right? And you don't get one of their fathers showing up at your shows to threaten you like happened to me a few months ago. And
really?
And I happened to be very nice to her, and she was 24.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. The Italians are such fun. There's 2 types of Italians. You know what I mean, Chris?
Yes.
You know what I mean, right? There's 2 types of Italians. There's like the Jewy kind who are like, you know, you're like the lawyers and all that. And then there's like the fucking, you know, the Goombas.
Yes, right.
This guy, he was one of those.
Ugh.
But they're all like, you know, but he's one of like the fake ones. They're trying to, you know, doing this.
But, Justin, let's just be honest. Did you have sex with his daughter?
Yes, I had sex with his daughter.
Yes.
But I cared, but like I was also very loving. I'm raised by women, Chris.
I know. What?
I'm loving and caring. I can't help that my fucking cheekbones say, "Hey, badass."
Yes, true. And it's not your fault that this girl didn't want to listen to the commands. She doesn't know the 6 fucking commands.
Right. I said, sit and stay. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Down.
And it said she's DMing Jeff Dye. That wasn't a command.
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm actually, just to make it easy, I'll just hook you up with my trainer in New York. They'll do a session with you. They'll take care of you, and it's like you'll just 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes a day. But you have to get no harnesses, none of the fake dog stuff. Like use all the real dog tools.
Okay.
You know, like the ball and gag mouth.
Right. Sure. Yes, I have one handy. What about the shock collar?
The no, you could use an e-collar, but it's not really what you think it is. It's not really like like you're putting a strap on them and zapping them. That's not how that works.
So that's not a cruel thing, that collar.
No. So the way you're doing is you're conditioning them. All it is an invisible leash. So you're conditioning them to understand the concept of a remote control.
Okay.
Right. So basically, you're putting it on them. You first hold the collar and you have them touch their nose to it, and then you reward it. Then it vibrates. It beeps. It vibrates, and it has the stim levels or the shock, which goes from like, you were a physical therapist at one point before you fucking made it.
Yep.
It feels like the E-stim on like when you get E-stim. Now, obviously, on the high ends, that thing could zap your eyeballs out, but you'd have to be deciding to do. You'd have to make a decision to do that, which only very abusive people would do.
Sure.
But the point is, so you having them touching their nose to the receiver that's going to go on their neck, and then you reward them, and then you make it vibrate, and they touch their nose to it, and you reward them. Then you put it around their neck, like hanging loose like a necklace, and they feel it vibrate, and they come get a treat, and you're just sort of teaching them the concept that, oh, when this thing vibrates, it's dad calling me, right? Then you start putting them at distance, you vibrate it, they run across a field, and then you start putting them in like more distracting situations where they're going towards something else, a competing motivator, like they're walking in the opposite direction toward you, you vibrate, they come back to you, and then eventually that vibration is going to fail because there's no attrition to it. It's like a cell phone vibrating.
Got it.
Then that's when you slowly start adding the stim levels on the lowest level possible, and you're only ever working on the lowest level possible. So if the dog is like running toward a squirrel, right? You're like, the difference of them just playing with their friends in like a dog park and you give them a little tap on it, they'll come right over. But when they're really intensely going towards something, you have those higher levels to like ensure that they come back to you. So, and because you would naturally hit those higher levels in a real life situation, the same way you would scream if like your kid was like running across the parking lot, you'd be like, get the fuck over here. They know that, okay, when dad says come over here, there's cause and effect. So you're not just doing what you call strap and zap. It takes like 2 months to educate them on that thing.
And so you're going to send your trainer over to my house to do it.
Martha, she's very beautiful too. So
really, I was hoping for a guy like you, because then I would like him to strap that onto my balls a little bit.
She's like, I met her in the dog park. This is true. I met her in the dog park like 3 years ago, and I was like, oh, this is fucking hot chick with this dog. And she was just like really, really good at training. At training, and then she was working as a stripper, and I was like, really?
Whoa!
I was like the dog training stripper,
dude. Yeah. I can't wait. I cannot wait. This is
nice to her.
Well, I was going to say this is perfect because Jasmine, my fiance, it's going to be amazing when I bring over Martha, the dog trainer, and say Justin Silver said she's great, and then prepare for a follow from.
Don't tell her that. You know what's funny? I just realized this. She listens to your podcast.
Martha?
And that was confidential information I was not supposed to say.
Okay.
So we're in trouble now.
Hey, listen, but that's the thing, Justin. Me and you, we're a band of brothers. If you go down, I go down.
Yeah, really?
Yes.
Shit.
I'm going down with you, dude. I'm going fucking down.
When we go down, do we have access to your bank account like together? Like I get a card?
Well, that's going to all have to go through Jasmine. Jasmine has made me sign every document that if anything ever happens to me, she gets all the money. So just watch out.
Okay.
Wait, listen, we got to go. I wanted to ask you one last question. Is what happened this morning was when I was walking with Josephine, I got very scared and I ran into the house because I saw a fox in the back of my yard, and we ran into the house, and because I got really scared because I said the fox is going to hurt my dog and hurt me. And then when Jasmine looked at the security, yes, and then when Jasmine looked at the security camera, she saw that it was a squirrel.
Right.
and not a fox. So has that ever happened to you before? We've mistaken a squirrel for a fox.
Well, no, because I'm not a fucking faggot, Chris.
Yes. Yes.
You know what happens here, though, in Los Angeles? These people are nuts. There's like they have these little like small dogs in the valley.
Okay.
And like they're constantly getting like killed by coyotes, and hawks are taking them.
Jesus, and also homeless people.
The homeless people have like are actually very good with their dogs here.
Yeah.
But like the big thing is like the little dogs and the coyotes, and then they go and they get another one. They
Wait.
go get another little dog, and I'm like, this is like at this point, you have like a little bit of like a concentration camp, right? We got a very, very Nazi theme on the show today.
Yes, that's what happens when I call my Jewish brothers. Let me ask you this: are you never coming back to New York for real? For real?
I'll never live there again. I mean, I'm sure I'll come and visit, and just expose myself to endless rat urine and constant sirens blaring in my ear, and have to take more pills to go to sleep that would tranquilize a fucking elephant just for fun.
Just for fun. So and then we'll let you go. What peptides are you currently on? Tell us your stack.
BPC 157 and TB 500 because my joints are just like so fucked from years of.
Okay, and that's working, and that's really working.
You know what? I have so many banged up injuries that it's hard to tell what's working and what's not working.
Okay.
Right, but I put my dog on that. He had double elbow dysplasia surgery. Right.
You started injecting peptides into your dog?
Yeah, you can absolutely give your dogs BPC 157. Like, this is not like, I'm not suggesting people do this, but like I'm friends with so many of the celebrity dog and like horse trainers around the world who like are just at the top of their field, and they're like, oh yeah, we use it. They use it all the time. So he had double elbow dysplasia surgery.
Okay.
I was like, all right, the benefits of this healing is going to be phenomenal. And they were like, he healed in a month. They were like, we never see it happen this way.
Wow.
Yeah, so I put him on, and I know the doses for animals too. So I take BPC 157. I started taking Retatrutide. I have it right here. Oh, I have to take HCG because my test was so low, Chris. I swear to God, I was trying to do the come command, and I couldn't do the come command.
Oh my God, that's not like you.
No, I couldn't do the come command.
So what else? What else you on?
I was trying really hard.
Yeah.
I was on the hub. And it wasn't working. So I take BP. So I have to take HCG, GOP3, obviously. And then this is really good because you have great hair, is GHKCU, which is copper peptides.
Yes.
Because you have that gorgeous hair.
So you think I should take that?
You know what? If you have like a Range Rover, you don't have to like fucking polish it all the time, but you would.
Right. That's true. Right. Okay. So these are the stacks. The other one I heard of is Mott C. You ever try Mott C?
I never tried Mott C, but Mott C is more anabolic.
Mitochondria.
And I have to be so careful because of hair loss. I don't have the Range Rover. I have more of like a Mitsubishi.
Right.
On my head.
You have a little Japanese head.
Little Japanese. I have like a Jew ball. I have a Jew head. I want my hair, but we want to keep it that way.
What about C-Max and Celanc? Those are the good neurological ones for you.
I don't know anything about those.
Those are supposedly good for anxiety and focus. Those are the things that we need because we're nervous babies, me and you. That's why we bonded.
We did bond over that. We bonded over our anxiety. But then I take all the other pills that I have to take for that.
You're a little pill boy,
I need the little sleeping pills. I need my little grandma Lunestas.
Justin, I can't thank you enough for this. This was great.
Puppy's name?
Puppy's name is Josephine, and I'm giving her Retatrutide right now.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yes.
A husky's an intense dog. They're great. I'm going to hook you up with Martha.
Thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, Justin. I'll talk to you soon, baby. I love you. Bye. That was Justin Silver, everybody. What did you think, dude?
So before we even get to the dog stuff, I got a big problem with people who move to the West Coast.
Okay.
Because they all say like, oh, enjoy the snow and enjoy the weather. And then you get in a conversation with them and they say things like, yeah, you just have to avoid the coyotes and the earthquakes and the homeless people.
Yeah. And the natural disasters and the encampments everywhere and human shit. It's like, dude, I'll stay in New York City, okay, be around people, be around the weather, and I'll jump off these prayer rugs like lily pads. It's no problem. It's honestly no problem for me. I'll never, Vito, listen to me right now. I know that it's tax efficient. I know the weather. I know people say, I will never leave New York. I will never leave New York City or the surrounding areas.
And you moved to the West Coast. You start fucking pumping your dog up with steroids.
Peptide. I mean, that interview for a moment wasn't going anywhere. And then he casually said, I gave my dog peptides. I said, what the hell? Does your vet know, sir?
That's like, what do you think the farthest you'd go with injecting your dog with something is? Like, if somebody told you, yo, you could get your dog ripped and you could pump up with some like TRT, would you do it?
The thing is with me is I'm such a like pussy with stuff that I wouldn't give my dog anything that I wouldn't do. And I've been told time and time again that these peptides are safe. Actually, a friend of mine, like this is direct knowledge, accidentally took 10 milligrams of retatrutide on their first dose. You're supposed to take 0.5 to 1. They took 10 because they made a mistake with the syringe. And they said it was the worst 2 weeks of their life. They were, couldn't eat, vomiting, awful. But they took 10 times the dose. And they're 2 weeks later fine and back to taking 1 milligram. And they're like, what are you so nervous about? You're taking 1 milligram. I took 10 times the dose. And yes, it sucked, but I survived. I'm here. I fucked up and I took 10 times the dose. So for me, I don't know where this fear comes from, this anxiety comes from, but it's pretty profound where like Jasmine has to constantly say, Chris, stop thinking of the worst case scenario. I don't know where it comes from. Without all that being said, I would be nervous to give my dog anything because I'm so scared of putting things in my body. That's why I never like took a pill or did any like random cocaine off the street where like I know a lot of people did. I know somebody on this podcast.
You don't do
did.
Random cocaine off the street.
You would take random pills. You took random pills.
I never took random pills. I took pills from a very close friend of mine. Okay,
and you did random coke.
Like from a guy that my friend knew, but I never just was like going up to strangers outside the Comedy Cellar like a tourist in New York City.
Still random. Yo, also too, real quick, let me just say before I forget, you know what's the best thing I ate this weekend? And
what?
First time I've ever had it, and now I'm a huge fan. Ready for this?
Ass?
Dude, Bundt cakes. I had a Bundt cake. And it blew my mind. There's a place on Seamless called Everything Bundt Cake. And it is amazing. Or is it called Everything Bundt? No, Nothing Bundt Cake. No, what is it called? Hold on.
Let's find out. I'm going to look it up for you.
It's something Bundt Cake. And it was...
Nothing Bundt Cake.
Nothing Bundt...
Yeah, it looks like it's a chain.
Yes.
It's a delivery service.
Nothing Bundt Cake.
It's like a 1-800-Flowers situation.
Dude, this Bundt cake, we got the vanilla Bundt cake. It was amazing. Here's what happened. We got a Bundt cake because we went over to a friend's house, had a slice of the Bundt cake, blew our minds. I went back. My family does not know this. I went back and got a personal Bundt cake for myself, and I ate the entire Bundt cake in the car like I'm Ted Bundy. I went off. Bundt cake, that is the new thing. Why? The main reason why I need retatrutide, forget it, is because of my Bundt cake obsession. You know me. You know I like to go hard or go home, and I get into like a mode. I am in 2 modes right now. I'm in 3 modes right now. Peptides, aka retatrutide, Bundt cakes, and St. John's. That's where I'm living.
Oh, dude, you got to talk about you were there for the Big East win. You were sitting courtside, right?
For the Big East tournament?
Yeah.
I was there, dude, and I sat next to Stephon Marbury. And and it was pretty awesome. It was pretty.
Did you share Vaseline? Were you eating Vaseline right out of the tube? Like,
dude, I was eating Vaseline right out of the tube, and it was pretty awesome because the best player on St. John's, Zuby, is going to go to the NBA, and Reed, who's one of the best players on UConn, he looked better and stronger to me in that matchup. Not better. Zuby's better for sure, but Reed looks stronger for a big man. I was like, oh, wouldn't he be better for the NBA because he's stronger? And Stephon Marbury leans back. He goes, "You're not looking at the right thing." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Watch. He's like, let me show you next time to come down the court. Watch. He's like, you see that right there? You see how Zuby set that backdoor screen and then know how to cut to the basket? That's what they looking for. He know how to do that off the ball shit. He's like, look at this motherfucker Reed. Watch this motherfucker. He's like, good. He's like, he's just banging around down there. He ain't moving. I was like, yeah, but his thighs are so muscular. He was like, why are you looking at another man's thighs? That's what he said to me. I swear to God, the whole time I was just slowly eating popcorn. He said, Zuby gonna go to the NBA. He goes, but you know, out of all these motherfuckers on the court right here, you know who gonna go to the NBA after all these motherfuckers? He goes, that white motherfucker on UConn, Mullins. He going to the NBA first out of all these motherfuckers. And by the way, of course, as you could say, I'm saying motherfuckers because we're on a podcast. He was just changed the motherfuckers for the N-word is what was being said. So, but he said that Mullins is going to be the one that goes to the NBA because the NBA right now is looking for players who can do one thing really well. It's not every NBA team has versatile players that can, these guys are so good. So it doesn't matter that you can do 10 things really good. They almost don't need that. What these teams need is one guy who's excellent at one skill. And Mullins is an excellent three-point shooter. So they would take him, a team would take him first.
It's wild that you were sitting next to an NBA, like a Knicks legend in my eyes. Legend. Like I grew up with the Stephon Marbury, like Knicks. Like that was like when I got into sports.
Well, yeah, I'm actually a fan of his from China, but go ahead.
But you're sitting next to him and he's giving you like a detailed analysis on how he views a player and their responses. But look at how muscular his quads are.
Yes. That's literally what I said. And he goes, why are you looking at another man's thighs?
It's also crazy that didn't come up because the whole time we were talking to Sam J, she was talking about like bonding with Melo over watching basketball. And then like not at no point, like when we were like, oh, that's crazy that you had that experience, that you were like, oh yeah, like I was talking to Stephon Marbury a week ago about college basketball. Yeah,
I didn't even think to bring that up because you're talking about, we then went to the New York Knicks game. I took Vito to his first ever New York Knicks game, right? Was it your first game?
No, courtside. First courtside. I've been in Knicks games. Yeah.
First time ever going courtside. It was the Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers last week, and it was me, Vito, and then we sat next to great comedian Sam J, our lesbian sister from Boston, who now lives in the ATL, and she was getting drunk and she was talking shit, and it was very, very, very funny. And I actually was called the N-word in a very loving manner about 10,000 times that night. And she told me that I'm one of them good white ends. And I said, I really appreciate that, Sam. Thank you.
That's a double compliment too,
yes.
Because you got like, that's a compliment that's a triple compliment.
Yes.
That is a gay black woman. So that's like, you're ahead of everybody. That's kind of puts you at the top upper echelon.
Dude, if you get a compliment from a GBW, gay black woman, you're doing well.
GBW, dude. Yo. GBW, that's a king.
Now, speaking of just B, Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan, dude, is a New York Knicks fan legend, obviously a comedy legend, but when you go to these New York Knicks games, okay, we get the privilege of, we got to go up into like a suite that has some food and all that, and then they bring us down to our seats. But in this suite, where you start the night off, is where all the major like A-list celebrities will be. One of them being Tracy Morgan. Now, Tracy Morgan is, when you meet him, one of the kindest people, one of the best people I've ever met. Not only in this business, in life. Tracy Morgan just makes you feel good. Tracy Morgan makes you happy. Tracy Morgan has got a good heart. Now, I had to go do some type of like promo thing. I had to do some promo thing for this NYPD show I'm doing this weekend, which we'll talk about. So that left Vito, who doesn't know anybody in this suite, alone. I have to go in and film this stuff, and it's just Vito out there alone. Now, Tracy Morgan walks up to you and tell us what happens.
So I'm standing outside, and you go into the room right after Tracy finished doing his, and he sits down. And then as you go in, he goes to me, "Hey man, sit down, get comfortable." And I was like, oh, okay. Like, because I wanted to get seated by the host. I didn't want to do anything wrong in this room. Tracy Morgan's like, sit down, man. Sit down right there. We family in here. I sit right here. Patrick, he's going to sit right behind me over there. Hell, James Dolan sits all the way over there. When you in here, you become one of us. You become family. We take these losses home with us. These losses is real. We out there, we rooting, okay? I need you out there tonight. I need you. You can't get distracted. You can't be on your phone looking at all these celebrities. I need you to lock the fuck in. And I'm taking it back. I'm like, okay. And then he goes, I need you to lock the fuck in tonight. I'm not messing around, and you can't be afraid because I got your back.
Yeah. Dude.
I'm like, you don't even know how to respond when somebody's talking to you like this because you just turn into like a mute and you just start nodding because like, what the fuck do you say to Tracy Morgan?
He doesn't want
your back.
How do you respond to lock in? You're like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean lock in? And then he goes, I need you to get comfortable in here, man. Go get yourself a drink. And I went, oh, is there a bar? And he puts his hand on the table. He goes, no bar. No bar. You're staying sober tonight. We need you sober.
Dude, Tracy Moore, was that one of the wildest 5 minutes of your life?
Yeah, because it's just so like it's talking to somebody that you don't feel like you're in the same universe. Like you don't feel like you're in the same dimension.
Well, like you almost kind of feel like if that wasn't Tracy Morgan, if he wasn't obviously such an identifiable A-list celebrity, you would think that this man is clinically insane.
Yeah, because I'm just coming here to watch a basketball game. What do you mean I have to lock the fuck in right now? And then like I told him I was from New York and that I'm a Knicks fan and that like and then he was like, by the time you leave here, you're gonna feel like a Knicks fan. You're gonna feel like a New Yorker. And I was like, no, I'm from
from New York.
I'm from New York. I'm from here. And he goes, with that either Mets or Yankees hat on your head. And I was like, it's a Mets hat,
dude. Tracy Morgan, but didn't you feel great? Like, isn't it like one of those things?
I locked in.
That's what I was gonna say. You locked in. Tracy got you to do what he said you were gonna do.
I fucking locked in, and then I don't even remember. Then when me and you were sitting down at our table, you went to get a drink, and again he called over and he went, "Hey, are you good?" And I was like, yeah, Tracy, I'm good. Like, yeah, I'm at ease now. And then he was sitting like we were under the net, and he was sitting to our right, on the sideline. And anytime I took out my phone, I'm not gonna lie to you, I looked at him.
Yes.
Because I didn't want to get yelled at, because he's the fucking kind of guy who would come over and scream at me, I feel like.
Yeah, he would. And he would. I mean, me and Giannis were there last year when he started vomiting all over the court. And then he just, he would have, I told you, I saw him upstairs in the suite after. He would have come back, but they just wouldn't let him come back. But he was ready to come in. He was ready to lock in.
And now that we talked about a B, you got to talk about you at the BW.
Oh yes. What? Yes. Before we get to the BW, because we're gonna do it. We got a gay, we got a black, and now we got a W. But just Tracy,
a BW.
Yes, a BW. Tracy Morgan also told me once, he gave me a compliment that I still don't understand, but he said it so lovingly and affectionately. I was like, this has to be good. He goes, "Yo, Chris, let me remind you of something right now. I was about to go on stage at the theater at Madison Square Garden for Garden of Laughs, a nice charity show." And he goes, "Let me remind you of something right now. Don't forget this, all right?" He's like, "Remember this, bro. You ain't funny. You do comedy. That's the difference. All right?" He was like, "So you go out there, don't even worry about being funny. You do comedy. All right?" And I was like, "All right." And then I swear to God, dude, he gave me a pound and like a 5-second hug. And he was like, "Go get him." Go get him. And I was like, yes. But
you don't even know what to do, right? Like you just kind of freeze. Like you almost fucking come off like mentally challenged when he speaks to you.
Oh yeah.
Because he throws you so off that all of a sudden then you turn into the person that's just like,
dude, if you ever look at when he's auditioned for SNL, he was only doing comedy, I think about 6 months. And like Lorne Michaels and the staff at SNL, they didn't even know what his audition really was, but they were like, Lorne was like, "We just need him. I don't know what just happened, but he's on the show." It was like one of those moments. So, but yeah, then the BW we met Z-Way, who excellent interview show on YouTube. Another girl from Boston. Isn't that interesting? Two of the women that we sat with were both from Boston.
Didn't even put that together till right now.
Sam, Jay, and Z-Way. And she was sitting at the table right next to us, and with her friend, and Vito knows her. Vito's whispering. He's going, "That's Z-Way, that's Z-Way." And I said, "What? Are you having a stroke?" He goes, "That's Z-Way, that's Z-Way, that's Z-Way." And I was like, "What? Who?" You know, like I recognized her, but I said, "How do you know?" He said, "She did the interview with Eric Adams." And I was like, "Oh, wow." And I saw Z-Way looking at Vito and then looking at me, be like, "Why are these guys whispering? What's going on?" So I think out of an abundance of caution and fear, Z-Way came up to us and introduced herself. And then I sounded like Vito, responded to her. I was like, "Hi, my name's Chris. My name is Christopher." And I look like such a idiot to the point where Vito and I talked about it for 10 minutes. I was like, I can't let that be my hello. I can't let that. I literally look like, Warren from Something About Mary.
You gave her the you didn't even say, "Hi, I'm Chris." She said, "Hi, I'm Z-Way," and then you literally just went, "Hi."
No, it was, I was like an asshole. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
I've never seen you be that antisocial.
Yes, I just was so out of control to the point, though, then we went back about 5 minutes later to their table, and I reintroduced myself and Vito, and I said, I don't have special needs. Well, I do have special needs, but I'm able to get through it. And, "Hi, my name's Chris," and blah, blah, blah. And then in an effort to connect business-wise, I sent her a message saying, "It was great meeting you. At the Knicks game, if you ever want to come to a comedy show, let me know." And she's left that message on red.
Oh, it says red and everything.
Yep.
It says seen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let's check back. This was when did we go to the game? A few days ago. Let's check back.
A week ago.
About a week ago. But let's see. And yes, we are. Hold on. Yep, we are still left. I said, "Great meeting you last night. You make Boston people cool." And it got left on red.
Let's play a game.
Yep. So what are you going to do?
And then on the other side of us was Sheck West, the rapper, Mo Bamba, and his group was not happy sitting next to me, a bigger fellow.
No, see, that's the one thing is Courtside is amazing. It's an honor, it's a privilege, but the seats are like very tight and
like airplane. Like I would say even tighter than an airplane.
Dude, and me and Vito are big boys. And the guy, those rappers we were sitting next to, I really do feel like an old, like true idiot, because I know his song when they played it, but I had no idea who that was. Did you know that was them?
No, I didn't know until they put him on the screen, and I was like, "Oh shit, I love Mo Bamba." Like, it's a song I like hum to myself all the time.
What's the song again?
Mo Bamba.
No, but what's the song? Those are my thoughts when Z-Way said hello.
But like, dude, I literally had to like plan how to sit. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, my legs were sore after because I'm like so wide that I had to put like basically like the back of my ass cheeks on this folding chair and lean all the way forward because like I was like, he wasn't giving up any like room on his side, so it was pushing me even closer to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want Chris to be miserable because he brought me to this delightful experience.
Dude, I'm in that conundrum a lot. So what we did was we figured out a method is if we were kind of like a yin and a yang. I would sit back and you would sit forward to give us more space, and then we'd switch. You would sit back and I would sit forward.
And not complaining at all. Like this isn't like, oh, like how like an amazing experience, which like it is crazy being down for me. Like I've never done that before. Like I know you've sat down there before, but like
yes.
Sitting down on the court where you're watching the NBA, like it's rec league adult basketball, like you just went to watch your friend at like Chelsea Piers.
Yes.
Is insane. Like we were inches away from Cat Williams complaining to a referee.
Yeah. Yeah. And Cat Williams, Carl Anthony Towns. Oh my God. Cat Williams. Could you imagine Cat Williams was at the game too?
Cat. I said Cat Williams. I meant Cat.
Carl Anthony Towns, Cat Williams. Y'all motherfuckers hating on breakfast? What up, pimp?
Cat Williams is crazy. Cat Williams is crazier than Dog and Squirrel and Fox.
Dude, I'll tell you what, the craziest thing I've ever seen down there, though, is Floyd Mayweather Jr. came to a game once, and I was sitting like 2 seats away from him, and he was wearing gloves. Like, it was
boxing gloves?
No, like gloves on your hand, like to go out in the middle of winter, but it was mid-May. So it was like 80 degrees outside. He was wearing gloves, like winter gloves, and he had an engagement ring on his ring finger outside of the gloves. He had a woman's engagement ring on outside of the glove, and it was very wild thing to see.
You ever meet him? You ever talk to him?
No, I just saw him, but we didn't.
He can't read.
I've heard that. Yeah, but he'll beat the shit out of you.
Well, yeah, I don't have any doubt about that. I feel like a lot of celebrities would beat the shit out of me. Like, I'm a big guy, and I'm like, but like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna. I would not try to fight the worst boxer in the world.
Any of these guys that do like these fighting scenes in movies and stuff, like Daniel Radcliffe will beat the shit out of me, and he did the vagina
100%.
monologues. He'll beat the shit out of me because he probably learned how to fight on Harry Potter.
Yeah, like even if it's throwing a fake punch, like it's like he still knows how to like get in there.
Give me advice. Let me remind you of that number, 929-266-7934, the reverse advice hotline where I call the fans and ask them for advice. Give me advice. Anybody out there who knows how to fight? How do I learn how to fight? How do I do it quick? How do Vito and I beat up celebrities? 929-266-7934. So we got a big week this week. Okay. We got we got a big week in Tehran. Who knows what Trump's going to do? We got a big week in America because we have opening day, baseball opening day tonight. You got the Yankees playing the Padres on Netflix.
Giants
on Netflix.
The Gigantes.
The Gigantes. And then you got the Mets and the Pirates on Thursday, opening day. I will be there. We got Paul Skeen starting pitch for the Pirates. And then who's starting for Peralta? Is going to start for the Mets. Freddie Peralta is going to start for the Mets. So I will be there at that game. They are doing parking. There's going to be a parking nightmare because they're building a soccer stadium and a casino right across the street from Citi Field where they used to let everybody park. So I will be taking the public bus to Citi Field. So I will try to document as much as I can, but I am taking.
Are you going on the shuttle? Are you going on the buses they have set up, the shuttles they have set up going from different malls and stuff?
Well, no, I was just.
Or you're just taking a bus, like a local bus by you?
Yeah, I was just going to take a bus. Me and Jazz were just going to get on the bus.
Got it. They're also doing these, like, if you look up the transportation options, they have like shuttles going from like malls in like the Bronx and Westchester and Staten Island, where you just drive there and then you take the shuttle from that location.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, because maybe I'll look into that because I have I want to see how long we stay on that bus. I'm going to guess about 4 minutes before Jasmine says we're getting off and calling an Uber. So I want to just, I'll try to time it and film it for you guys. But then so we got that. We also got my little daughter, Violet, my 4-year-old, T-ball starting. So I'm going to get her a glove from Dick's. Right after this podcast, I'm going to Dick's to get her a glove. I actually stole a bat. I stole a Little League. I stole a T-ball bat from my town's Little League shed. They had that gear swap thing, and they had just a bunch of T-ball bats. So I'm going to take one of those. But they didn't have a glove. So I'm going to go get her a glove. I would assume Dick's Sporting Good has a T-ball glove, right? That's the spot.
That's like the place to get such a thing.
So I'm going to do that. And then she's got T-ball practice at 6:30 tonight. So I am on the fence. But
6:30 p.m.
I know it's late for a 4-year-old.
For 4-year-old practice?
It's wild. I know Jazz is livid about it, but it actually works for me because I like to eat dinner early because I feel fat. So if I told I told Jasmine to have dinner on the fucking table at 5:30 and don't fuck around. And then we'll walk up together as a family to the Little League field, which is nice. But I was asked, and I'm on the fence if I'm going to do it. I was asked by the coach if I want to join the coaching staff of the T-ball team. And I want to say yes, but I'm nervous because I don't know what to do. Even though I've played sports, I play baseball, I'm nervous on how I can be a positive influence to these kids in T-ball. So, you know, Vito, if you have any advice, but also if you are a T-ball coach, call 929-266-7934, and we will contact you to give me advice on how to coach T-ball.
You're going to agree, and you're going to tell them that I can coach with you. And we're going to fucking run these kids like a professional organization. Like, we're not doing any of this bullshit like everybody bats. We're going to have a starting lineup. We're going to have middle relievers.
Yes.
Okay. I know it's T-ball and there's no pitchers.
Yes.
But we're going to somehow have middle relievers.
Dude,
we're going to have a closer.
We're going to get these kids on peptides.
Dude, peptides, TRT,
yes,
Winstrol,
yes,
everything possible. We're going to fucking, like, we're not going to fuck around. We're going to go out there and we're going to, like, demand blood.
Dude, absolutely. We're going to have steals. We're going to have pitching signs. We should have signs. We should make up signs.
Oh, dude, like, we should get the pitch comm. We should get the actual equipment.
Yep.
Dude, and tell me when I will actually be a coach with you. And even if we're not coaches, I'll come to the first game.
Okay. Yeah. So that's huge T-ball. And then Friday night, I'm debating, do I drive down to Washington, D.C. to watch St. John's play Duke in the Sweet 16? Jasmine is telling me you are not going to Washington, D.C. to watch a college basketball game. It's weird, Chris. You're 41 years old. Please stop cheering on and making college basketball your life. It's weird. And I'm saying, you know, let me be me. Let me be me. If I
you have cop day the next day. Like it's a big journey.
So I told her, so she said, so what do you want to do? So she was like, but don't you have the show for the NYPD at Madison Square Garden Saturday night with Sam Morrill and Cyndi Lauper and Fat Joe? I said, yes, I do. She said, so what are you going to do if they win and get to the game on Sunday, the Elite Eight? What are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to drive back to New York City, do my show, and then drive back to Washington, D.C. And she said, let me remind you, Chris, you have a family, and this is college sports. I said, St. John's hasn't been in the Sweet 16 since 1999. And she goes, ask me if I give a fuck. And I said, Jasmine, do you give a fuck? And she said, no. And I said, okay, fair. And then she actually had a good point. She said, okay, you're going to go to St. John's game, Washington, D.C. You're a grown man. Do what you want. She goes, but I'll tell your daughter that you're not going to be at her Easter egg hunt with all the moms and dads go to the family Easter egg hunt, which is on Friday night. So ask her, you know, if that's okay with you, then.
Yeah, if you want to be a bad dad.
So what I'm going to try to do is tell my daughter that the Easter egg hunt has been moved to Washington, D.C. and bring her with me, and she'll be my +1 at the game. And then, you know, whatever, instead of finding Easter egg hunts, I'll just give her a whole bunch of St. John's shit. And I think my daughter will be happy.
I didn't realize until this moment that St. John's is your new fad. We talked last week that you get into these fads, you get into these interests, these hyper fixations.
Yes.
Some would say.
Yes.
St. John's is pretty. I've known you a few years. I'm not going to lie. You've never once mentioned St. John's to me.
Right. So St. John's, I was always a fan that's convenient. From Queens, you know.
Now that they're good, it's convenient that you've always been a fan.
Born and raised in Queens, always been a Johnny's fan. I will say over the last 5 years, my interest in them has gotten, in the last 3 years, I've gotten more interested in them than I was, say, 5 years before that. Okay, so fine, I'll give you that. But I was never fair. I always checked in on St. John's. I always say, what are they up to? What are they doing? I knew their players. But when they got Rick Pitino, I said, okay, now it's real. So you think this is bandwagoning? You think I'm bandwagoning on St. John's? You feel that? Really?
I do, man, because even last year, I don't even remember you being this into St. John's when they had their first tournament run, like in a while.
Yeah, but I was, though. I just wasn't talking about it. I was saying it. I was keeping all my thoughts inside.
Internally? You're just keeping it internally? Because everybody knows you keep so many things internal.
Now, what about you? How do you feel about me being a Mets fan? Not a Yankees hater, but I was once a Yankees fan, and now I'm converted to a Mets fan because I know the family that owns a team. Does that bother you?
No, because I like when more people come join the Mets fandom.
But now, what would you say? Just, you know, if you weren't a Mets fan, do you look at that as a diehard sports fan or baseball fan? Do you look at that as that's lame? You can't go from Mets to Yankees to Mets or Mets to Yankees.
You didn't get into them because they got good. You got into them because you met people related to it, and you got into it through that way, and because your stepson got yelled at
Yes.
at a game, and that was another thing that made you. So like you had actual reasons push you toward this fandom.
Yes, and real reasons. And I also I look at it like, you know, even though I'm not an MLB player, I do feel like I'm a part of the Mets organization at this point. It's like when a player gets traded. Like if a player got traded from the Mets to the Yankees, or even the Yankees to the Red Sox, it's like, you're still you got to play for the new team, dude.
Well, you're a St. Joseph's Hall of Famer, and here you are being Mr. St. John's.
Exactly. So look at that. I'm in the same.
Did you try out for St. John's when you were? Did you like do any tryouts, or did you get? Was there any interest in them for you?
St. John's, no. So when I was playing high school basketball, I sat on the bench, and so I only got offers from Division III teams. So I played Division III basketball. But had I been a better, I'll tell you this though. If I was a better player and St. John's said you can sit on the bench for Division I St. John's or play for Division III St. Joe's and be a starter, I would have sat on the bench for St. John's. I'll tell you that.
I didn't know that you weren't a starter in high school.
I was not. I sat on the bench. My high school basketball team started out preseason my senior year, number 6 in the country.
I didn't know that.
Played against like JJ Redick and guys like that. Yeah, and I just fucking rode that pine, baby.
I feel like you've had a lot of overlap with JJ Redick.
Yeah, right?
Because I feel like you brought up before. Did you like?
He used to live in my building. Yeah.
Yeah, you lived in his building. That's what it was.
And Liam Neeson lived in my building.
Well, you guys make similar phone calls. You make similar threats.
Here's the thing about Donald Trump, okay? Hate him, love him.
What a segue.
Here's the thing about Donnie T is hate him, love him. It's up to you. Okay, whatever you want to do. Like, I don't care. Like the president, don't like the president. It's a free country. It's fine. You have to admit, subjectively, that the man is funny. You have to admit the man is funny. What he said to the Japanese prime minister when they were being interviewed, or to the Japanese media when they were being interviewed a few days ago about a sneak attack of Iran and why Donald Trump never let the allies know that he was going to attack Iran. Donald Trump's response was, I mean, if we were doing crowd work clips, this would be a viral moment.
Of course, no, Japan and US are very good friends. But one question, why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, what Pearl Harbor? Okay.
Yeah. See, look. At first, I thought, oh man, is he talking about surprise about when we dropped a nuclear bomb? But he said surprise like he put it on them, like, hey guys, you surprised us with the sneak attack, Pearl Harbor. I know that that's an insane thing to say, but I actually look at that as like healing, because you said that to Japan, saying like, look, dude, you did that to us. And then, yes, we had to drop 2 nuclear weapons on you. What can you do? But we can laugh about it now, all these years later.
Why didn't you warn me about Pearl Harbor has become part of my personal lexicon now for the last week since this dropped. I've said it to my wife about dishes.
I love it.
I've said it at work. I just said, why didn't you warn me about Pearl Harbor as a stump tactic? The thing about Trump is that when he has a line that hits,
right,
you just gotta admit game is game.
Right.
And when he has a line like that you see when it hits just as hard as a headline as it does when you hear it.
Right.
And then the follow-up of the, am I right?
Yeah. Huh? It's a 10 out of 10 and it's amazing. And I got in 2 minutes, the New York Post is going to call me because they want to interview me about Saturday's show that is completely free for the NYPD. 15,000 police officers going to be in there and their families, all free for Madison Square Garden, all free at Madison Square Garden, only for the police. Myself, Sam Morrill, Cyndi Lauper, Fat Joe, a bunch of other people on that show.
John Fogerty.
So if you're in the NYPD, sign up, come through. They're going to call me in a minute, so we might as well just take the phone call on the pod. Why the hell not? You guys will hear the interview. And then also, sad news, OnlyFans creator died. And that's sad. He was a very secretive guy. He actually died a few days ago, but the news only got released yesterday. Nobody even knew he had cancer. And I never met him, but I met like the second in command for OnlyFans, this guy out of Chicago. And
the boat guy.
The boat guy. Yeah. And that was that whole story of last year. I told it on Chrissy Chaos where we took a boat from Chicago to Hammond, Indiana, and I had Delilah with me, who was 9 at the time. And we were on the, second in command of OnlyFans boat taking us to the casino. And they gave Delilah a whole bunch of OnlyFans merch and all that. And then when we got home, Jasmine was like, how was your weekend with Dad? And she was like, oh, we went on a guy's boat. And I think he owns a sex company. And she said, excuse me? She was like, OF, OnlyFans. And then Jasmine was like, Chris, can I talk to you in the kitchen for a moment?
What do you think's going to go over better, that or stripper dog whisperer?
Dude, stripper, you have to be here when Martha, the dog trainer, comes over. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Hello?
Hey, Chris, it's Grace from MSG. How are you?
Hey, Grace. Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with the Post, page 6.
Of course.
It should be pretty quick. So the reporter's name is Nikki. I'll loop her into this call. I'll be on the whole time, just in the background listening. If you have any questions or if anything comes up, I can jump in. But you did a great job on Friday talking about this. So, and then the one thing to just remember is, of course, we want to encourage everyone to thank the NYPD, seeing a cop on the street, like you said, even a high five, a kiss on the forehead.
Sure.
Not actually, but
yes,
that's kind of the biggest thing. We want people out in the streets actually thanking officers.
Love it.
And of course, we don't want to be political. Nothing political about this. This is just about saying thank you.
Love it. I want to be paid in Morton salt sweaters.
I'll find one for you.
All right.
Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to loop Nikki in right now.
Great.
Do you have any questions for me? Are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll add Nikki. Just give me 1 sec.
All right. Inside joke. That was maybe one of the worst interviews I've ever done. That lady hated me, didn't laugh at one thing I said. And
I don't think she hated you. I think she liked you. I think she liked you, but I think she just has no idea how comedy works.
Yeah, and I think if you want to see that interview, go into the New York Post. If you want to see the interview, go to the New York Post because we can't play it.
Well, you can't. Did you not know that you can't just record a conversation with somebody?
No. Well, can I record that? I want to call Jasmine because she was supposed to bring my food up, and I don't know if this girl didn't order my food yet. I seriously, I'm not going to do anything. But hold on.
That sounded mighty abusive.
Yes, Jasmine. The thing is with Jasmine, she's told me before that it turns her on when I get when I say well, how about I push you or hit you? She's like, and she'll go, So I'm like, you have to go to therapy and you need to be on medication. Now she's not going to pick up the phone.
If Jasmine doesn't pick up, I got one final question for you.
Okay.
All right. I was taking a pee-pee at your house last week.
A pee-pee?
I was taking a pee-pee at your house and I looked up. Okay. And I saw 7 or 8 AI generated portraits of Josephine, your dog.
Yes.
I would like to ask you if you did that yourself or if you paid somebody. And if you did pay somebody, I need to know how much you paid.
So what happened is that actually was Jasmine's idea. I don't know who she paid or how much she paid. I could check the credit card statement, but it was my idea because she had those 6 pictures. It was my idea without her even telling me to do it. I put them above my toilet in the guest bathroom. I put them above the toilet, right where I have one of those push to flush buttons, and they're right above that. And she was like, why would you put them there? I was like, it just seemed like the right spot. She was like, above the place, above the flusher. I said, yes. And she was like, because people touch that all day, these pictures are going to fall off the wall. I said, no, they're not. And then about an hour after you left, I took a massive dump and then went to go flush it. And one of those pictures of Josephine fell right in my shit.
Which one was it?
The one her climbing Mount Fuji.
So if you're confused, what are all the activities she's doing at the
She's in outer space. She's in Mount Fuji. She's at the beach. I think one, she's teaching a classroom.
It was just a shock to see a bunch of AI generated images of your dog getting into high level hijinks and adventures.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, when you come into my house, you really never know what to expect. Sometimes you'll come in and there'll be AI generated photos of my dog. Sometimes you'll come in and my ceiling will be caved in my kitchen. Sometimes you'll come in and I'll have a stripper dog trainer.
Can you talk about the columns?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you told me the backstory of your columns.
Oh yeah, so the house that we are in now, there's these really like beautiful like columns that are in the as soon as you walk in, and the house was built like 150 years ago. So you're like, oh my God, these columns, like what they must have seen, what they must have been through. If these columns could talk, they are amazing. It was a reason why we chose this home, because of like these historic columns. And then we were talking to a contractor who came over to the house to do some work. And he was like, oh yeah, you know those columns? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, my dad put them in. An Indian family in the 70s made those. I said, excuse me? He goes, yeah, there was an Indian family that used to live here in the 70s and they put in those big Indian columns. I was like, all right, this house is for sale. All right, boys and girls. That was a fun one. We probably have to edit out the New York Post interview, but go check it out. Go check me out this Saturday if you're an NYPD. If you're in the NYPD active duty officer, I'm part of a free show at Madison Square Garden just for the police to say thank you to our officers. And remember to call the hotline 929-266-7934. It is the reverse advice hotline. We will call you. You leave us a message, give us your phone number, tell us what you do, and we will call you to try to help me get through my life. We are here for you every single Wednesday, audio only. And we love you, and thank you so much for coming back and supporting us. We're having a good time doing this, and hopefully you're having a good time listening to it, baby.